wanting some encouragement this new moon, this fiddle, this message might be for you. If you're wanting a personal new moon or tarot message or reading, sorry, that's available on our site in the description and on the screen. Stories of love, light, high frequency, truth, justice, and peace only. What messages do you have for us, the collective, at this time? What messages do you have for us, the collective, this new moon? What messages do you have for us, the collective, this new moon? Okay, we have 7 of Pentacles. We also have 2 of Wands, 6 of Cups, Death card, Scorpio, 7 of Cups, and the Chariot, Cancer, the Ace of Swords at the base of the deck. So this new moon, Source and Ancestors are wanting us to focus individually, collectively on our investments. So that looks like what we've physically poured our time, our efforts, and our heart into over the past 7 weeks to 7 months. It could even be 7 years. Some of us may have like choices to make, or we need to apply wisdom when it comes to our investments. For some of us, this has to do with connections, relationships, Six of Cups can represent like past relationships, or people that we have a past with. Some of us need to be more direct in terms of our options and our choices, or we need to get more clear on our intention, our focus, is what I'm hearing. I'm quite drawn to the fish in this 6 of Cups card that are like moving through the water. I feel like it's almost like a current. Yeah, I'm seeing like a current that some of us will be traveling together. So whoever you are connected to, whoever you have fruitful, harmonious, emotional connection with, healthy connection with, there could be choices that we're making together, or applying our wisdom together to activate long-term fruitfulness. I also heard the word trust. Some of us may be making plans together to invest in something together. Some of us could also be called to invest in something that is attached to our childhood, or like a past memory or something like that. I just heard the word replay. So for some, this could be something that has been replaying in your like mind, your memories for a while. There's a lot of conversation and clarity that, I also just heard adaptability, that is being offered to us, that we have access to. But I guess Source wants us to get clear on our intention, our choices that we have made in the past as well, and what has been like positive. We have Queen of Swords at the top of the deck, so Gemini energy there. I guess in Western astrology, the new moon is in Gemini. As we're going through change and transformation individually and together, this death card to me is real like Phoenix vibes, right? So going through the fire or initiation by fire. So that can be quite quick change, that can be change that is quite difficult, but it's important for us to embrace change in our connections. And also we might be looking at our options a lot more, outside of our connections, just our investments in general, what we're invested in, what we invest our time, energy, resources into. Seeing with the Seven of Cups, yeah, I'm hearing dreams, illusion, imagination. So it's yeah, and different options. So it's up to us to determine what's what, to get clear and focused on how we're driving and honing our energy forward for the future. Oh yeah, there's something about Cancer season as well with the Chariot. So this new moon is getting us ready for the next season. By the time Cancer season comes, which would be in like a month, a lot of us will be feeling a lot more clear on our direction. Also the cycles of life as well, like guidance, information. Ooh. We have Knight of Swords, the Lovers, there's Gemini, got Temperance, Sagittarius, and Knight of Pentacles. And it looks like this wants to come out, Seven of Wands. So this is how we're also being called to stand in our power right now, is to focus on clarity, focus on peace when it comes to our thoughts. Also being really wise about what we choose to say, what conversation we enter into. This can determine how protected we are or not. So some of us need to like check ourselves when it comes to what conversation and thought processes we're involved in. For example, if someone is talking negatively, it doesn't mean that you can't hold space, but I think Source is wanting us to be mindful of like adding fuel to the fire, if that makes sense, when it's not a positive thing. Some of us may be called to defend ourselves by speaking up for ourselves or further investing in something through our choices. We might also be called to defend our ideas as well. Some of us will be experiencing fruitfulness in our relationships, and we're seeing like romantic relationships as well. There's harmony that is coming through here, and a lot of healing and growth. Slow and steady kind of, yeah, slow and steady wins the race kind of vibes. There's a lot of grounding, heard of grounding ritual. So it might not be like overtly spiritual ritual, you know what I mean? But it could just be the things that you're doing every day, the choices that you're making every day, the communication that you're involving yourself in every day. Yeah, as ritual. We definitely need to practice stillness and mindfulness through changes. So there might be a lot of options that are appearing before us, things that we can choose from, things that we're still deciding. And I'm seeing like it's important for us to be patient with ourselves and others as people and we go through different changes. There's definitely some stability if we're following this energy, is yeah, stability being offered to us. Yeah, Cancer season is real significant. There could be something that's beginning in Cancer season. Yep. Guidance and information. Do you have for the collective this new moon? Nine of Pentacles. So we're really being called to get clear on our self-sovereignty and independence as individuals, and how that contributes to the greater whole, the collective, community, family. This will also come through spending time in nature, receiving from source, the divine, as a part of nature. There's also something about what we're being taught when it comes to exchange as we continue to pour into our own self-sovereignty, honing in on our strengths and our gifts and our talents. Knight of Cups. There was also Page of Cups at the base of the deck as well, and we have the star here, so Aquarius. Guidance and information we have for us, the collective this new moon. King of Swords. Definitely a refreshing being offered to us in our choices, and that's also something that we can ask source for. Like, you can just think it in your mind, like, I need a refreshed energy, or I would like refreshing in my relationship, or I would like a refreshing in my path, even in my relationship to you, source, or to you, nature, divine. Some of us might still, I'm being highlighted to the Aotearoa, so that could be significant for you all. But some of us are, and crows or ravens or like blackbirds. So keep an eye out for those as well. What was I gonna say? Some of us might be moving through restrictive thoughts when it comes to intimacy, whether that's intimacy with ourselves or the divine, or others. You may be called to make the choice to apply your logic or connect with your higher self, your higher intuition. And I've been saying this because I feel like Spirit has been talking about this a lot. Is like, our logic and our rational mind can be connected to our spiritual head, or our ori. So that might require us then to remove our emotions in terms of having to make a choice or moving forward in a certain way, in a certain relationship or context, investment, in a way where we're like not restricted by past things or feelings. We might also be called to look at like our ancestral legacy, what we're contributing to, in a sense of like not being overwhelmed by our emotions. Not that you can't feel, of course, fam, but this might be to do with like making a decision or just perspective, wisdom. Lots of collaboration is in the cards for us as well, and that might there might be a sacrifice that we have to make, or a pause or something, a regeneration that we're going through when it comes to our collaborations and who we work with in a team. We have King of Pentacles that fell out reversed, so please clarify King of Pentacles reversed in terms of what we're releasing or being called to release. Nine of Cups, Nine of Swords, Six of Swords. So some of us are being called to really release negative a negative approach or thinking when it comes to our abundance. King of Pentacles is not just money, it's your physical world, your home, your resources, your body, your whatever you can touch and that is tangible. So maybe some of us think that we can't achieve certain things that we want in our life, and this new moon is offering us the choice to decide that we can. Instead of giving our power over to certain things, because we got 7 of Wands at the beginning, and that's like calling our power back to ourselves, standing our ground, defending our territory. And when I say defending our territory, it's just like, again, like, what is your legacy that you're wanting to create in your life? How do you want to create that? That's your territory. How can you continue to invest into that long term? 9 of Cups is like letting us know that we can have emotional satisfaction even if there's stuff going on amidst the anxiety, amidst worry, amidst fear, and some of us are really being called to move on from that, to move on from regret, I heard. Some of us, Queen of Cups reversed, no, not reversed, but maybe I said that for a reason, because I was gonna say some of us need to, oh my god fam, the messages are like flowing through my head and I'm like losing them. Some of us are called to nurture ourselves is what I'm seeing. Nurture our emotional body, nurture our emotions, how we feel, and connect to that wisdom, because 9 of Cups is feelings. It's cups, it's water, it's our intuition as well, and 9 in the tarot can represent the divine alignment of that. So there's a reason that we feel like we want certain things. It's not just because we just have feelings for no reason. It's not for us to abandon our feelings and only think from a logical standpoint. I'm seeing like some of us need to reframe how we think, what our logic is. You know, we've been taught by society. I was actually like highlighted to, I don't know if you can see it, and I don't know much about this, but, oh, you can't see it, but it's like that drawing of a man, and their arms are outstretched, and then there's like, their arms and legs are outstretched, and they're like naked, and it's like, oh, I feel like I'm describing it really badly. I don't know what it's in relation to because I don't really care about that stuff, but I can see, I don't know if you, oh, it's quite blurry, but it's just there. Anyway, that was just symbolizing to me like what society, what Western world, and also like white white patriarchy teaches us about what logic is, and I'm seeing some of us need to rehash that with ourselves. You know, we all, well, in Ifa, in Yoruba cosmology, we have, and tradition, we have our spiritual head, which is called our Uri. That's who we consult every day to lead us down our individual path and destiny, because our spiritual head is connected to our destiny. And so I'm seeing that some of us need to reconnect to our spiritual head, our spiritual logic and rational way of thinking, instead of thinking that rationalizing things is coming from a white patriarchal like perspective, because it doesn't have to. And we have our minds for a reason to use them, you know. If we weren't meant to use our brains, then we wouldn't have them. We would just be heart-based humans, I guess. I don't know. So Source is reminding us that our emotions, our intuition, our desires, what we want emotionally is connected to our spiritual head. And our ancestors would like us to transmute any worries and anxieties we have about receiving what we want into moving on from that, letting go of the past. It could be the past that is like making us think that we can't have or achieve something, but I think we just need to continue to nurture what it is that we love, what it is that brings us emotional satisfaction. Yeah, 8 of Cups. So release is important. 4 of Cups. Yeah, so some of us could be like over intellectualizing our emotions. But I think like the power in that would be rehashing that out with ourselves in the way that I have just communicated. But some of us are really being called to release past things that no longer serve us, emotional blocks, and maybe add into our routine how we can connect with our emotions a little bit better. We've got 10 of Cups here too. Lots of Cups, fam. 8 of Cups, 9 of Cups, 10 of Cups. So there's that order as well. That release leading us to our don't know why I just heard the word taniwha, so that could be significant for some. Emotional release leading us to emotional contentment and satisfaction and healing. So some of us growing up maybe, or in our relationships in the past, maybe weren't really nurtured in the ways in which we should be. Some of us need to nurture our self-esteem a little bit more. So that could be like tending to yourself, mothering yourself, your sense of self-value. Doesn't matter if you're whatever gender or no gender at all. We all need nurture. And so some of us need to really nurture our healing at this time. This can be through community as well. Our creativity, our expression. And this is what's going to offer us strength and confidence and activate a little bit more passion. Ooh, card just fell down here. 2 of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, so that will help us let go of any like imbalances in our physical world. So there could be things that we have been juggling or running away from, avoiding, isolating from. Also adaptability. So some of us need to learn to be a little bit more adaptable to change, a little bit more adaptable to, like, I'm seeing a little bit of stubbornness with some of us. So maybe we're like, no, this is the way that things have always been, or this is the way that I've been doing things. But Source is trying to add something else into the mix that can help us. But some of us are like, no, I just want this comfort. And it's like, no. If you want to grow, if you want to heal, if you really want this contentment, fulfillment emotionally, that you're really desiring, you're going to have to move out of your comfort zone. We're going to have to move out of our comfort zone and also stop juggling things that are not serving us, that are not bringing us emotional fulfillment, and focus on what is going to. 6 of Cups, 6 of Wands, sorry, and King of Cups. Our creative expression and the fullness of that with the Star. We're also being called to hope and to dream, to think of, to reflect on what is actually success for us in our emotional world. If I imagine what my life is going to be like, I don't know, in the next year, for example, what fully being healed would look like, what a fruitful, healthy community would look like, what a fruitful, healthy society would look like. Even if you don't really know how that would come about and you are just like, what the fuck, that's like impossible at this time, which is a very understandable way of thinking. Source is still challenging us to have hope and faith, and to continue to contribute actively in our actions to this hope, to this faith, to this vision, with the Star Aquarius.